Up. I'm live, and it's Sunday night, which is really weird for me, but I said I would be here if we got to this point, and we got to this point, so I'm here. Tipathon Day 5, and is this the end? I hope it's not, but as you can see at the top, there's only 50 minutes left on the clock. That being said, if one person in particular was to be so generous as to tip $100 right now, it would add 7 hours and 20 minutes to the clock. So it would add 200 minutes from the $100, plus an extra hour on top of that. So an extra 60 minutes. Did I do my math wrong? I don't know. Either way. 260 minutes added from the tip itself, and then we hit the next goal, the $369 goal for retro console streams, retro quote-unquote, but also 3 extra hours will be added for hitting that goal. We are technically less than $100 from it, but I'm rounding up just because. So 3 hours is an extra 180 minutes. So, yeah, no, 4 hours, 20 minutes, plus an extra 3 hours. So 7 hours and 20 minutes. All for the low cost, not that low, of $100. Yeah, probably not gonna happen. But I can hope, right? I mean, it's Sunday night. I really shouldn't be doing this on a Sunday night if I didn't want the timer to run out. But I said I'd be doing it from the very start if we got to this point, so... oh well. But yeah, so $277 is where we're currently sitting, and 43 cents. Thank you for that, Callie. And the next goal is 369, as I said. If we hit $500, by some chance, whether tonight or in the future, but again, we have to get beyond tonight in order for that to be a possibility, I will do my mini road trip vlog, but no face reveal, and we'll also add 5 extra hours to the clock. Moha is already redeeming a hydrate. I'm not even done with the intro bit. $666, you get the face reveal because, oh, that seems appropriate for a cursed amount. And then if we hit 669, yeah, you know what? Never mind. To keep your face to yourself. Again, none of that will probably happen, but it's there. How do you send me money on Ko-fi? It's via PayPal. Ko-fi only supports PayPal. So, but it's through that link, which got double posted. At this point, I have to recommend for any international viewers using SE Pay over PayPal, whether through Ko-fi or not, simply because it doesn't have a 4% fee tagged onto it for the currency conversion. Of course, you're free to use what you want, but I've got 2 options for PayPal and 1 for not PayPal, and se.pay, or SE Pay as I usually refer to it, is the one with the lower international fee. But you also have to use a direct payment method, and while they do support a number of options for that, it's obviously a direct card thing. So, I mean, Moha, you don't have to do anything, especially if your situation hasn't changed a ton. It's appreciated, but not required, but obviously. But yeah, that's my recommendation for any international viewers. Not even for me. Not even for me. Just anybody else. If somebody that you want to send a tip to, or donation if you prefer that terminology, if they have multiple methods that include a way to not use PayPal, and you are not located within the same country as them, or at least, they're US and you're not, something like that, because I don't know how it works outside the US, but avoid using PayPal. Again, that 4% fee or whatever it is, just absolutely ridiculous. It's just good advice no matter what. For me, that means going through SEPay. There's nothing wrong with SEPay. They do have a bit longer processing time. Like, I literally cannot send it to my bank account. I cannot send it directly to my bank account 5 minutes later. Well, I guess we got more than 50 minutes on the clock. Thank you very much for the $50. Shaw? MT Shaw? I mean, voice to text. Text to speech, that's what it is. Said Shaw. I don't know what you prefer, but yeah, thank you so much for that. I honestly, genuinely did not expect to get anywhere with tonight, so you guys are already proving me wrong. So that's 327 out of 369. If I remember, there's actually a command I can run. This, I hope it doesn't screw anything up. That looks like it worked properly. If it went from 1248 to 229, or 228, and so it went from 49 to 229. Yeah, that works. Except, Shaw, again, thank you very much for the $50. Because it was $50, that means I add an extra 30 minutes to the clock, because for every $50, there's an extra 30 minutes added. I felt like that was a good balancing point between adding a reasonable amount of time just as a bonus for being so generous and not overdoing it, because I don't want to add $5 extra or 5 extra hours for tipping $100, But anyway, Tipathon, add tip 15, I think is the right way. Yes, there we go. And then I can just do the update command again, which I had forgotten last week that I was there. So I guess we're getting through tonight at the very least, because I might end early, but that's 3 hours. I haven't even talked about what we're doing yet tonight. Need more factory? I mean, that's fair enough. To be fair, though, you will, if you want to keep watching after the Tipathon is over, you will get more factory, because I have said I will play on Update 8 Experimental, which, as a side note, apparently the mod loader has just released with Update 8 support, so that's exciting. Mod support in, well, now, but mods in the not too distant future for that. But with the current save, yes, I'm only going to stream it during the Tipathon, so one way or another, you're getting more factory. But yeah, thank you so much for that. In case it's not obvious at this point, I'm playing more Satisfactory tonight, because, well, I wasn't sure if the clock was going to run out after 50 minutes, and I'll restart it when I get into the game, but I didn't know how long I was going to go, and Satisfactory is a game that I can very easily just be like, okay, we're cutting now, goodbye. Whereas FNR and GTA, had that actually fucking happened, not so much, which is why it was paused over the weekend. Yes, still technically the weekend here in the US, but just bear with me on that one. Alright, let me launch Satisfactory. It is only Update 7. This is a world I started a little earlier in the year, and I was avoiding going to Update 8, primarily because of mods, but also because I like stability and all of that. if I come over to here, continue the save, do that, and in just a minute, I will run the command to resume the timer. Update the title to reflect the fact that we have more than 50 minutes on the clock. Okay, I'm loaded into the game, so there it goes. Had some mods we didn't get a chance to unlock earlier and actually see much of them. Yeah, I mean, I don't have too many. Most of them are quality of life things. There are obviously some functional things, because, like, teleporters. That's not a normal blueprint designer. That's a Mark II, as it says, which is bigger. There's the Mark I. You can see how much smaller that is. Actually, there. Right inside of it, it's a little bit smaller. Just a little. I've got the small sim sink, as I tend to call it, because it's a small awesome sink. And there's a standalone terminal, which is actually what I have over here. Just allows you to access the coupons easily. I do have a permaday thing, so you'll never see me in the nighttime here. I think it's just better for streaming, especially since I'm not on Update 8 with all the fancy lighting and everything. You know, no global illumination here or anything. So, just being permanently in the daytime, it just makes it easier in a lot of circumstances, you know? There's a couple of other things as well. There's one for just making this a little bit nicer, including showing what locked aggressions are. So, like, even though it's a mystery, I can see exactly what it is and things like that. Another one I've got is the, is there any, I don't remember. But I've got the, suits, power suits. That's a mod. I've got wireless power, which I don't use, I think. I forget if I actually set this up anywhere. There's also a mod I have for destructible fart rocks, because I'm not on Update 8, and that's a necessary feature. I mean, yeah, no. They finally added it with Update 8. I've been using this mod since, like, Update 4, though, because why wouldn't I? I've got a miner, higher tier miner, that does 2,400 resources per minute. Simply, stop hitting tilde. Simply because sometimes you just can't. You need more than what the game provides, essentially. And there's some restriction. If I remember correctly, that's just a holdover from my Update 5/6 save, and that was... It was something to do with a sulfur node and needing a certain amount of sulfur, but I think I just basically reduced the number of nodes I needed to access with it. That's all. I didn't actually cheat and give myself more resources than were available on the map. There's some other mods I'm forgetting. One of them is Micromanager, which just basically allows you to do a bunch of silly things with different things. Scaling and very precise movement. As well as, of course, Smart Mod. Like I said, probably a couple of other things. I was too late to move off there. But as far as, like, functional buildings and helping with the crafting, I don't have any, like, higher tier machines or higher tier storage or pipes or belts or anything like that. I did toy around with that back in Update 4, but otherwise I've just done, you know, vanilla stuff. Boy, this isn't a mess or anything. I mean, it works. Yeah, in case you missed all of last week, This wasn't here. The train stations were, but that's about it. Oh yeah, the elevator. How could I forget about the elevator? Don't mind that one. It goes up to 500 meters high. The elevator, which will not be added to vanilla Satisfactory at this point. It's such a handy mod. And it's a shame that they won't be adding this anytime soon. From what they've said, at least. Also, this mod, not only does it have a number of configuration options and... Like, this is the Mark 1, so it only supports 5 floors. The Mark 2 supports more. 20. This one goes to 500. I think the Mark 1's only 100. Oh yeah, it follows you. And I can control it with the keypad. This is part of why I don't want to play vanilla. Which, until just recently, that's what update was. Purely vanilla. Alright, where even... Oh, right. Yeah, it is really good, the elevators. Just that alone. That's the wireless power transfer, but... That is for the power suits, but really otherwise, it's like not a lot. This is all vanilla. This is all vanilla. Oh. An on-belt limiter and counter. Yeah, I hope so too. I really do hope that the mods get updated quickly. Refined power? Yeah, I played with that not really in Update 4. I had it installed, but I didn't use it too much. But just some adjustable things. This is really handy. You can literally just place it on a belt. Don't even have to place it directly on a belt. Just configure it to, you know, how you want it to be. I ran out of desk space. Where's my mouse? Hello? Did I crash the game with that? Satisfactory. I think I might have crashed the game with that. I'm gonna pause the timer just to be fair, because like I don't really want to run. I mean, I leave it active over breaks to be fair, but like this is me futzing around and seemingly breaking the game. Okay, so pro tip: don't try and get the number on a counter limiter that high. Yeah, not responding. Let's just kill that and relaunch it. Oops. I had honestly never tried clicking and dragging like that, so I was curious as to how far it could go, and further than it should. It can go further than it should. I probably am at the power/computer factory. Probably. Yep, I'm on the elevator. Alright, so like 1 extra minute added to the clock essentially for that. But yeah, like I said, legitimately, like there was a platform here, but it was completely empty. This train station and the track existed. The train station over there existed, but pretty much nothing else did. And now there's all of this. Ow. And this is where I left off last week, trying to get all these pumps set up for the input side of that. What this is supposed to be, for anybody who missed out and isn't aware, this over here works in conjunction with the refineries over there to produce fuel. I think the refineries here are responsible for producing the heavy oil that gets turned into fuel through diluted packaged fuel over at those refineries. And then this is actually two sides. This side of it that we're looking at unpackages the fuel, and then all these belts you can see they wrap around, whether the top or the bottom. It's the same thing, just two levels of it. They wrap around to the other side, and the empty packages, the empty containers get turned into packaged water, courtesy of these pumps. And then they get sent over there to get turned into fuel. And it's literally just a gigantic loop for all of the containers. I forgot to do this. I need to get my thingy open so I can actually see what I'm supposed to be doing here. Okay, that works. So this is roughly 3,700 cubic meters a minute worth of water. These pumps. And how do I want to do this? You know what I might honestly do is this. And it's simply because of how I'm doing the entire section. They're gonna start spinning up again to refill the tubes. Would you allow me to do that? No. I'm sure in some configuration it would allow me to do that. If I go slightly further away though, hopefully it should work. Yep. Give me a tube. Because what I'm gonna do... Right. I guess I technically didn't have to do that there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this one out like this. And then have a... excuse me. Have a stack here. And then another stack right here. All going to the bottom level. And then these 8 here will all go to the top level. That was what I was thinking last week, when I ran out of time. Is that roughly centered? Close enough. Doesn't have to be perfect. These technically do clip a little, but only the supports clip. Though this could clip up here. You know, I think it's just gonna clear looking at these tubes right here. Just fits. Should just be able to do that. Yep. And then, as I said, these sets, they'll probably get balanced out to 4 and 4 instead of 3 and 5. And then they'll make their way up there, wrap around, and go into all the machines around front. Get the right thing eventually. I like to keep... The way that I play this, I forget if this was an update for a specific thing, or it's just the way I've gotten used to it. I like to press Q when I'm building something. Just press Q. Maybe it's not that? I don't remember. Right, I like to just right-click. I don't even press Q. So I right-click and then I come into here and... Oh, clicking on those things doesn't work, so... Usually it was production, but since MV Power is the second tab here... Just allows me to very quickly double-click and get out of there. So if you ever see me doing that, that's why. It's getting rather tight back here. Well, that's fine. This is all flowing very nicely by the looks of it. Yep, all the pipes are refilled. I always like that about sliding. You can slide into something like that and still, if you're quick enough, turn around and slide out of it. Because momentum. Yes, I know. The laws that we know of momentum wouldn't allow for that, but, just... It works in this game, alright? That and that. Remember, I can't have them just 2 apart, it has to be 3 apart. I didn't fall into the water! Barely. So many times have I been working around the edge and just fallen into the water. It's nice to not do so for once. Okay, let's see. Work from the back inward. And then with this one now. The top first. There we go. Actually allowed for that even though I had been clipping into it. Will you let me get away with that? You sure will. On this instance, I am gonna do this. You. I said you. Thank you. Are you gonna let me do this without looking? Yeah, okay, it's not clipping. Yeah, that's right. We'll just slowly knock these out one at a time. And I can just bring these along for the moment. And, yeah, sure, 20, why not? Can't do that in vanilla, after all. Might as well take advantage of it while I can. Although, that being said, I don't actually need to keep these here, right on the edge, and that's fine. Okay, let's see. You are going to come out to here, and then back 2. Actually, that one won't even need to. Sure, let's just run it to there. In fact, rather than do this here, I can probably do it right here, right? Will that work? Yep. Neat. Let's get this all plumbed up before I get it buried back there and can't easily access it anymore. Of course, I need more copper, but, you know, one thing at a time. Love trying to ramp off of surfaces and just not going anywhere. Oh, I'm on the ladder. Sure. I don't remember which bin is which at this point. Half of those resources over there were supposed to be for the buildings themselves, and then the other half were supposed to be for, like, belts and pipes and all that extra stuff. Yeah, I don't know what's what at this point, especially after I moved them. As long as I have most of the resources at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And technically, if you're worried about clipping, the only part that clips is the part that expands, and I mean, if that was really something that I was concerned about, I could just give the no indicator version, which doesn't have that. So I'm gonna say good enough. God, that has to come over immediately. Just thinking about how I want to do this, because ideally I'd like to have it not right on the edge if it doesn't need to be. I guess if I did that, it would be better. And since I'm going down, I only need 2 above there. Autosave. Good old autosave. Always saving automatically. Usually when I don't really want it to, because lag. That's sufficient to avoid clipping? Yeah. Again, just like I said in the other place, if I was really concerned about those clipping, I would just no indicator it, and then it would be fine. But it's such minor clipping that, like, does it really matter? Welcome back, elevator. As I said, I don't really need these here, so I'm removing them. Not that cable though, that's powering the elevator. This elevator will get removed, because, literally it's just so that all this noise down here and all the machinery and stuff, I can get away from it during my breaks. I'm gonna do it now, since I'm here. Hi, elevator. How did I do it down there? Brought it out to right there. Oh. Apparently I was standing a little too close to the edge. Let's try that again. Nope, fell through again. I did not know that that was possible. Stand over here. Oh, right. Minor detail, the offset up here is slightly messed up because I placed the blueprint slightly wrong, which meant that everything was offset by 1 tick. Thus why this is a thing. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. And you actually line up with that. Then you. I line there. I basically just want to, replicate what I had down there, just up here. I hadn't done it up here previously. And I also need to check downstairs to make sure that the head lift is sufficient to get it to the back of the rows. I would think that it is, because I'm pretty sure I put a pump before all of the ramps, because that was a decent amount of height that they had to get up. A nice little boost there. But yeah, I mean, if the furthest away one is getting water, I'd say that that's a good sign. Whoops. Yeah, I'd say that's a very good sign. Okay, these ones had their pumps earlier because of where they came out, I think. No? Was it only these that I added? I swear I added pumps somewhere along the way here. Did I not? Movement is hard. I added a pump to the furthest away one, that's why. That's why I remember that. I only did that over there. Yep. I mean, it makes sense. The highest I'm stacking on this side is 4. Versus over there it's 5. These two will all need to go up regardless. I think what I can do is just move the 5th level there to the 4th level here. So, like this. Everything is straight at... You not. Everything is straight across. Except for that topmost one, which transfers over to the other side. Just... Nice, it reaches, so I don't need supports in the middle. If I wanted to make this factory look a little bit more proper, it would be supported, but... Function over form. What's up, DJ Enter? Alright, now we need to go up with it. Go faster. What, please? You know, actually, no. I'm gonna do this. Because there's no need for the pipes down there, right? So just have the bare metal frame. I don't know that it actually makes a difference. 222 versus 422. Yeah, see, it does take more resources. So it makes sense, logistically speaking, to not do that. Okay. This is a fun one. Now, obviously, most of them are going to struggle to get the water up that high, so... I mean, these ones I'll do right here because it makes more sense this way. Other side... Grade that to be like that. The other side will have to be on the slope because I just can't really do it otherwise. Please go the right way. The lag. I mean, how do I want to do this? I could do it the janky way and just clip them through. But I was thinking for this one, you know, have it properly done, but now I need to get the power cable routed somewhere, or I could just... Does this actually clear? Not really. Just don't look at it too closely, alright? Okay, that should be good. still needs to go up a little bit, but I mean those pumps have 50 meters of head lift, if I remember correctly, so I don't suspect that'll be an issue. Underneath. Not the supports. This to there. There, do the top because it's easier to see the top than the bottom. Should I maybe have made them go up a little bit sooner? Probably. The good thing is that the water is pumping and getting up here. Do it this way. The right thing. You better just dig a trench and make a river. Are you sure about that? Because, I mean, there is this big body of water right there. Oh, well, IRL maybe. Is that fully supported, right? Yeah, because that would literally just go in the same spot. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. This is a ridiculous amount of water that's required after all. But that's not something I'm able to do in the game, unfortunately. It'd be nice if I could pump more water around without needing as many tubes, that's for sure. But I'm working with what I got. It's gonna work out just fine as well, that's what's most important, although that's not going to work. No. Oh, that's a... Oh, that is. Why do you insist? Hey, there we go. Gonna make it? Just. Now let's have it on the platform. There we go. There's the autosave. And the fact that that one hooked up just fine tells me that I did get that right. And yeah, those pumps will ensure that all this water is able to get up here, no problem. Do you reach all the way to there? It'd be nice if you did. Yeah, it does. Oh, that's not right. Again, is it a bit clippy? Yeah. But at the same time, you can put the belt supports like this directly next to each other, and they clip a little bit, but as far as the belts are concerned, they don't really. So, besides, the bit that's clipping, that's just the outer ring. That's totally fine, right? Oh, jeez. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a fun time. Alright, now to run this. Will you go the rest of the way to the edge? You will. I like that a lot. Okay, if I had been a bit more mindful, I would have placed them here. But I really don't want to replace them, you know? Now the real question is, does it reach even when I do this? Nope. That's fine. I'll just run it to right there. Just like that. Alright, then set these up again. Get these pipes all connected up while I can still more easily access them. Here we go. One by one. It's all very repetitive, I know, but I mean, there's only so much you can do with blueprints. And welcome to building a large factory in Satisfactory. It's a lot of repetition. I think people should know that well enough by now, right? How far out do... I don't know, like right there? Does that clip? A bit. Better off just using the extra parts and doing this. I think that's sufficient. Then I'll bring those forward at some point. See, then bring these along here. Back 2. Straight in. And just like I did on the bottom, just repeat the process. Wow. Yeah, I mean, that sucks, but also that's just what happens with the infrastructure sometimes when that sort of thing happens. Very powerful water. Not something you want to screw around with. And again, same thing as down there. If I really wanted to get rid of the clipping, just no indicator it and it's fine. But it doesn't bother me that much personally. And just think, you'll never have to see it again once this is done. Because at this point, once we're done plumbing everything up here, this side should be finished. Yeah, it looked like that was just beyond the range, so bringing it all the way forward to here is a good idea. looking up to the sky there just to be sure that I don't accidentally delete something that I don't want to. Bring these forward to here. And then I'll just go from there on everything else. You get it. Already time for a break. Well, considering that had the timer not been increased beginning of the night, we would be very much approaching the very end of the stream. I'll take a break. Not one to end the stream either. Just mid-stream break. That is fine with me. Again, thank you for the generosity. Not just you, Shaw, but everybody across the last week. The fact that we're on to day 5, and we'll be able to get this far into day 5 as well, with over 2 hours left on the clock, that's further than I expected to get. I'm going to press 1. Oh yeah, I can imagine, DJ. Just, oh. Never mind the infrastructure damage outside. But yeah, all the flooding, the damage that would have caused. I don't have a ton of experience with major flooding in my own personal life, but I did used to live somewhere that flooded somewhat regularly. And yeah, we weren't super affected by the floods, fortunately, but no, dealing with that was never fun, and the people who had to actually deal with, I mean, like I said, that area, it happened often enough that I think people were used to it, and it still sucked, but you know how to prepare and how to keep stuff away from where it's likely to get damaged, but even still, that just not fun. Alright, well, as the bot said, it is time for a break. I'm just going on break, just like 5 minutes or so, just to stand up, stretch, and, you know, do all that good stuff. If you're able to yourself, maybe consider doing so as well. Yeah, it's good for you, just get away from the computer for a couple of minutes. Also a good time to get a drink, or snack, go to the bathroom, take care of something you've been thinking, I should probably do that before I forget about it. You know, just take a minute. Yep. So I'll only be a few minutes. Like I said, I am going to run some ads while I'm away. It's the only time during the stream that I run ads, and by running them now during the break, it also disables pre-rolls for the next hour, so that there are no ads during gameplay. Unfortunately, because I don't like running ads at the very beginning of a stream, it does mean that the first hour of the stream has pre-rolls on it, but every hour from there on out does not have pre-rolls. And my aim is to have ad-free gameplay, because my channel isn't big enough to the point where ad revenue matters in the slightest. So if I can provide an ad-free experience, at least when the game is being played, I think that's the best way to go about it. Ads in general suck, but they're a necessary evil for disabling ads on Twitch. As silly as that sounds, you gotta run ads to not have ads. Anyway, I'm gonna take my break. Hear me? Alrighty, I am back, and good to hear that you were able to enjoy the ads. Personally, I don't think I enjoy any ads typically, but also I tend to avoid them. Should I really say I avoid them like the plague? Because I mean, like, as somebody who, as far as I'm aware, has yet to have that one thing, I feel like I can still say that to some extent, but for the general public, anyway. Yeah, no, I don't like watching ads personally, but there can certainly be some good ones. So yeah, I'm glad that the ad break wasn't too bad for you. But again, because of those ads, I know it is a lot, 3 minutes of ads all at one time, but at least assuming you get the full set of ads. No more ads for the next hour. No ads during the gameplay. That's what I aim for. Ah, gotcha. Interesting. Interesting. Well, let's get back into the gameplay, but first I do just want to mention... Ah, okay, I see. Gotcha. Gotcha, DJ. I do just want to mention, though, as I was about to say, I am doing a Tipathon, in case that's not obvious. We're on to day 5 at this point. I thought it would be the finale. It might still be, but at the very least, there's still another 2 hours on the clock, as you can see at the top of the screen. The bot is lagging a little bit. If you ever see the timer not updating every second, it's because it's literally being run by the bot. That is the bot updating a text file that OBS is then displaying on screen. That's how it is. It works, but if the bot lags, it means that the timer lags a little bit. But it's good enough, right? So anyway, yeah, 2-hour timer on the stream. I don't know how long I'm going to go, but if the timer was to stay as it is, I would run it down to nothing because I might end an hour earlier than I have been, but I'm not going to leave like 5 minutes on the clock, you know what I mean? So I think it has to be at least an hour left by the time that I'd want to end for me to say, yeah, we're done here, come back tomorrow night. And speaking of adding time to the timer so that doesn't happen, or not, there is a goal. Currently there's multiple goals, but the next goal is at $369, which we're at $327, I think that number says? Yeah. So, $42 off. Of course it's 42. It's always 42. $42 off of the next goal, which, what was it again? Oh yeah, retro quote-unquote streams. I'll finally get some hardware, maybe not the best quality hardware at this exact point in time, depends on how some other things in my personal life go, because my wallet is far from being full of money. But I would finally get around to making it so that I can actually play PS2 and GameCube on stream. And not just play on stream, but just play in general, because as it stands, in order to play one of those two consoles, I have to get my old TV out. I don't like doing that. But none of my displays have an analog input that isn't VGA, and just buying any extra hardware. So yeah, we hit that goal, that will happen, plus an extra 3 hours will be added to the clock, so on top of the 84 minutes that would be added from a $42 tip at this point, or if you bump it up an extra $8 to $50, that would add an extra 16 minutes on top of that 84, so 100. Plus an extra 30 minutes for the $50 bonus, plus the 3 minutes from the 3 hours from hitting the goal. That'd be a lot of time. But don't feel like you have to help out. Obviously, the longer this goes on, the longer this Tipathon will continue, and the longer this particular save in Satisfactory will get to be shown on stream. But, yeah. I don't know where I'm going with this. let's get back to the gameplay. You can see parts of my other factories as we descend back down to this one. Here's a good look at all those refineries. Let's get back to this, shall we? That should be more than enough space, I would hope. Yeah. You just tuned in not too long ago. Don't know what's going on. I am building a giant factory. Excuse me. A giant factory in which I'm producing a ton of fuel, hopefully, but also computer and related components. Computers and related components. So, like, let me get this back out. Give me a second, because I don't want to touch that, really. Computers, circuit boards, high-speed connectors, AI limiters, and even supercomputers. At some point. I guess it's producible from the get-go. Okay, so... And supercomputers. Producing 10 per minute of everything except for supercomputers, which I think is 5 per minute. Because they get expensive real quick. And I'm also producing a boatload of fuel, which is what this particular part of the factory is doing. And that fuel is going to turn into power. As simple as that. Sure, let's just go over. Why not? You need 60 water per minute. The flow rate is not the best in the world this far out. But if anything ends up being an issue with it, is that just this catching up finally? Probably. Alright, well, if it's an issue, I can just add pumps or such. Also, can you tell that I'm at a seam right here? If I back up far enough, that all deloads, and then if I walk forward again, it reloads. There's an edge right there where it changes LODs. Always fun to watch. Unfortunately, it does lag the game out when I cross those lines, because it has to load all those assets. Yeah, I mean, steep, not as steep, even steeper. Could have perhaps been balanced a little bit better, but I think it's fine. Not like I was trying to math it out exactly or anything. Well, I guess the reason they're not doing anything is because they don't need to do anything. There's no active flow. Now, the real question is, do I start... Well, I've already got the oil piped in. So at this point, do I start setting up all the fuel gens, which I haven't accumulated resources for? Or do I start working on the other part of the factory that's actually handling all the computers and computer-related components? Which I'm thinking will be over this way, because... Let me put it this way. I'm producing 3,680 cubic meters of... Yes, cubic meters of fuel a minute. The fuel generators consume 12 cubic meters per minute. That means I need over 300 fuel generators. But, to be fair, they produce 150 megawatts apiece, which means I'll be getting near enough 46,000 megawatts. Not great, not terrible. Should last me a good while once it's up and running, if I can get it up and running sufficiently. I think I kind of want to shift over to this, because I've been working on that aspect of the factory for a long while now. And I think I just kind of want to work on the computers a bit. Because, like, yeah, I could get that up and running, but ultimately I can't get either side running fully. I mean, I guess I could just awesome sync the items. I can't do that with fluids at the moment, unfortunately. There is a mod to... This is the unfortunate part. There is a mod that allows you to sync fluids. But you can see I don't have it. I don't have the fluid awesome sync. And the reason is, the game crashes if you try to load it and the smallsome sync together in Update 7. And it was never fixed. So, between the small awesome sync and the fluid awesome sync, I want the small awesome sync, because I'm going to use that more than I'm going to use the fluid awesome sync. So, that's the route I went with that. You are purely transporting oil. You're over there at the moment. Okay. Versus the train over here is the one transporting all the items. Well, sometimes you do have setups that produce excess fluid that you might not be able to use, so that's a good reason to sync fluids, just because there's no other way to void them beyond doing it manually by flushing the pipe, right? But also in this instance, if I was to take all the fuel being produced by the back half of this area, I could just sync that, get a ton of tickets for doing so, but it allows me to get the computer side of the factory up and running, because all the fluid that's being produced on the generation side, it's going to back stuff. Of course, I don't have enough of a factory over here for that to matter, versus at the moment, I could produce fuel, but only to a point, because these refineries don't have their solid outputs for the polymer resin. They don't go anywhere. But, as I said, I can very easily sync them versus not being able to sync other stuff as it stands. Okay, so this was set up one way, and I don't remember which way it was set up. You're polymer resin. Okay, so you are producing 20... They're all clocked the same. So it's a matter of which one is the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, that's the 14. So the upper one is 440. And then that one is 480. Yeah. So the lower one needs to go to residual rubber, while the upper one needs to go to residual plastic. Autosave. Bonk. 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 And of course, at some point, I also need to get the empty containers over to here. I probably need more than the 3,680 containers, or, you know, whatever that is, divided by however many fluids they contain, 60 or whatever. Need to get them over and injected into the system at some point. which is going to have to be on the backside, these incoming belts. Really? Well, if I'm going to be doing that, let me actually also pull some from there and then just do that, I guess. Is there anything else I'm drastically low on? Caterium I'm getting low on. I don't think I have any of that. I do have a little bit. Copper wire is fine. Or the regular wire, really. I can fit that rubber in, no problem, so that's fine. Take that. I'm a little low on iron rods. Probably fine until it won't be. Alright, so let's go back out here where I was and build out a bit of a platform for more refineries to go on. That's 8. Sure, let's go to there. Who needs Zoop when he got smart? Alright, now that I've done that, let's go back to my main base. What I'm thinking is, because I already have templates for refineries, I might as well just, since I need to build more refineries, I might as well just go make an updated template with the right recipes in it, right? Simplify the process that little bit. Do you mind? Damn thing. Wait for the world to load in. Look, it's time there. Okay, load blueprint. Doesn't really matter which. Don't save it. Okay, so this is loading on the input side. Fluids and solids versus that just needs solids on the output. That's good. So I can change this to... Oh, which one do I really... It doesn't matter. Residual plastic. And then just... There you go. Damn it. There we go. Yeah, here is fine. No. Don't do that. Autosave. And I want to change that to be plastic, because plastic, and I need to update the name because I closed the UI. I cannot type. And now I just basically do the same thing, except for the right variant. Oh, well. Clear designer. Take resources. And now I suddenly do have them. I did load the right one, right? Yeah, left, and I loaded right. Yep, okay. So now it's literally just residual plastic copied. And just... Please tell me I did paste it first. I knew I hit both keys, but I wasn't sure if it actually registered properly. Alright. With them all on residual plastic, then I can just... Why was there a Y in there? Why was there a Y in there? Fingers, please. Not how that works. Also, I realized I made an error on the one. Left. Load. My God. Stop! My brain cannot do good. Yeah. Anyway. Alright, now that that's done, let's do the same thing, except... Actually, that's not gonna save... Yeah. I can't save it right now because I haven't changed the recipes yet. Not recycled rubber, residual rubber. There is a difference. Okay. God, that excellence moment. Can you believe it's already been... Well, I guess it's not quite a full half, but better part of a year and a half since then. Hello to you too, Predominant. Click the image on that. Visual rubber, yep. The designer, take resources. Load blueprint on the left plastic. I actually should just be able to paste this still, right? Yep. Alright. Residual rubber. Rubber. And change the icon over to rubber. Save blueprint. Need to clear the designer first and then take. And there we go. The templates, honestly, it might not have actually been worth the time to make those templates, but hopefully they'll be useful in the future for something. By the way, this is a very dangerous thing to do depending on where you are in the world, because some parts of the world don't have water underneath of them. It's only because I know that there's water there that I feel confident diving off like that. That's why you don't see me doing it at my base. But yeah, the game's not built for teleportation, in case that wasn't obvious. Bonk. Hey look, another autosave. I went through better part of 2 autosaves while I was back in my base, didn't I? Versus if I had just used one of the existing templates and manually copy-pasted the... Never mind. It's fine. Just use the blueprints as they were intended. Let's see. I need 12 refineries for residual rubber and 8 for residual plastic. Also a substorm. So let's get the rubber ones out of the way first. I will leave an aisle or two here. I do this on the spacing. On the line, but a small gap there. That makes sense. So like that. And I'm out of resources. Let's see. I want to... This is plastic, right? Hello? Okay, this is rubber. Yes, okay. Things were being weird for a second there. If this is rubber, then I want two like that, and then I also want... You know, honestly, two of those. Now, why are these left, right, and then these are right, left? And these are right, left. And these are right, left. Why are these left, right? That's weird. Bonk. Who decided to have so many low clearance objects in this hallway-like area of the fat... Wait, it was me? Oh. Damn it, past me. Alright, pipes. It's like that. Take a bit of that. And where are the motors? Oh, plenty of motors. Just like that, we're good. I'll need more resources to hook everything up. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Also, I went over here again. Instead of, you know, back to where I was. Which was over in the center there. Whatever, doesn't matter. Yep, that's perfect right there. And then for this, I can come back over here and do this. Straight into the water, which is really troublesome because there's no easy way for me to get back up. Oh, well. Since it's actually letting me build underwater, which I'm not used to it doing. Do it that way. Alright, let's try this again. Okay, apparently I need a little bit more in the way of a platform right there just so that I can actually build something. I feel like right there is where I want it. I'm gonna build it there and then see how the interference is. Oh, that's not ideal. Alright, well, let's just tear it all down, because what other choice do I have? Fortunately, it's not a ton of stuff. delete all that. And, oh wow. I was expecting the belt to stay behind because it usually seems to do that. But it didn't. You know what, it's going to be uneven, but I'll build it like that because I know it'll work like that. And then I can just have the other bit work. Let's see. Run you back over to there, and then give me that much. Although, let me finish this first before I forget. And then finally, just take that and do that. So this refinery. Can't honestly see exactly where that is. I think that's clear. Yeah, I mean, it's tight, but it fits. There's the belts, and they're going the right way. And then at this exact moment in time, we don't need any of this. Let's just delete it all. I'll need to build out more platform regardless. But for right here, it's not inherently necessary. I only added one of them? No, because I built it and then tore it down, that's why. Let's see, that was residual plastic, right, I believe? Do that. And just double confirm once it loads in. Residual plastic, of which I need 7.333 refineries. What would that be clocked at? 33%. Ah, that's where it's necessary. Okay. This one refinery will be sending plastic over to a Caterium circuit board assembler. That's all it's responsible for. Although first I need to... I'm middle clicking. Love that bug. Gotta configure all the belts, run the power cables, and all that stuff. First, let's just get this all connected. Now, I said before, for the residual rubber, they're both running the correct way. Yes, autosave. For the residual rubber, I only need 12 refineries. As it stands, there are currently 16. So, what better way to deal with that issue than to just remove the excess stuff? I'm trying to be careful of resources here. Stuff in the background, basically. Make sure that I don't deconstruct too much, you know? That should be sufficient. 40 times 6 is 240. Yeah. Considering the items 440, 480, and then the water is 480 or 146.667. 667 going to that set. Non-issue. What would we say? 440 was the upper belt? You know, that actually works really well, because that means that the 480, I wish I could get that more easily, goes to the residual rubber plant, and since it's on the bottom, it's just basically a straight shot over. See if I can make that gap. I sure can. Except, this isn't actually what I want to do. Just remembered. Realistically, what I should be doing is something more like this. Put it like that. And then... just thinking about how exactly I want this to go. I can go to there. That can go across for the upper line. But then right here, splitter, and I did that wrong. You can go across to, come on, right there. You can go across to right there, and now that it's level, snap that in. Wait a minute. Oh, that's why, because I screwed it up on this end. That was time. There we go. Remember, always run, when you're running belts like this, always run from the start to the end location. If I was to start over there and run it over to here, the belt would be going that away. And I want it going that away. So instead of flowing to the right, it would have been flowing to the left, which is not ideal. Okay, now that goes straight in. I can upgrade that to a Mark IV belt. But because I'm placing that one off of an existing belt, it places in the correct orientation, and likewise with that, even though that was actually flowing correctly. That like that, and then you to there, back to like that. Q. And that does drop down from there, but that's by design, because it needs to go into there, which is at that level. Also, this water is very loud. Doesn't help that my air conditioner just turned off. thus removing the loud background noise. Don't get me wrong, I like the air conditioner being off in this instance because it means I can actually hear things clearly, but I also had my volume turned up to compensate, so it's a bit quieter now. Okay, so I think what I want to do is something similar to what I had set up over there. Except I'm going to do it slightly differently. I need 100... Boy, that's a really annoying number. Actually, I need 146.667 cubic meters of water per minute. Each pump produces 120. Each water extractor. That's annoying. It's fine, I'll just do 2 of them. But, like... Must you? Oh, you know... Well, I kind of want it further back than that, so... Like, those 2 will be for that, and then I'll have an additional 4. Like that. And then if I do this... Not in line with the ladder, but so what? It's beyond this. What's up, Falcon Punch? Long time no talk. Although, that being said, I think I was lurking in EJ's chat not too long ago and did see you there, but either way, long time no talk. Yeah, I do watch other streamers' streams from time to time. I am very much a lurker at this point in time. Very few streams that I will actively partake in chat for. So I like to do it. And of course, if anybody wants to lurk here, they're always welcome to. In fact, I think for the most part, people do choose to do that. There is nothing wrong whatsoever with lurking. Lurkers are what make Twitch what it is. Without you guys, view counts would be very low. Like seriously, even an active chat has potentially hundreds of lurkers, depending on how active the chat is or isn't. You know, what if I did it from the front like this? It still clears, right? Yeah, and then it puts those equal. Is that what I think it is? Yeah. No, I can guess why. Very nice. Very, very fitting for you, I must say. And then do the same. Wait, what am I doing with this? The reason why I did that over in the other area is because of how I was divvying up the water. I don't need to do that over here. Because I need 480 water, right? So there's 140, 240, 360, and now 480. Oh, I'm missing copper sheets. Well, very least I can do this. Then just to ensure. The turn of the pipe is too sharp for an attachment. Hey, fine. I'm not really worried with it backflowing too much. It's mostly about making sure the flow all goes forward. Which, I mean, I probably don't need to be this mindful of it, but I am. I need more copper sheets, which once again requires a trip back to the base. And I mean, at the end of the day, I could technically add another teleporter back where I'm working. There's really no reason for me not to. But I'm lazy. Go over here. I can run here instantly, which I need to go that way, but I can technically run here instantly because there's a solid foundation beneath me versus the terrain doesn't load in instantly, but ramps and foundations and things like that do. Yeah, you know what? Just take everything. Might as well go back with a full inventory and just drop off what I don't need. Future use, right? Whee! Again, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're able to dive below the ground, probably shouldn't do it. You never know where there is or isn't water. If you know that there's water beneath, and real water at that, and not the fake water that you can get in some areas, then by all means. Bonk. And that's why I was just choosing the slide. Alright. Mark 2 pipes for here. So this will be 240 cubic meters a minute on this line, and I only need 146. But, having excess isn't going to hurt anything here. Means that the pumps are going to be kicking on and off constantly. There's teleportation in the game, why do we need pipes and belts? That's a good question. Although the easy answer here, in this instance, is because the teleporters are mods. And they only cover being able to teleport human player. Whatever species player actually is. On that line, but it doesn't want to show me the snap for it. No, I don't want that, actually. I know there at least used to be a mod for teleporting items. I don't know if there still is. There probably is. I just don't have it installed. I don't actually want to do that, really. How much will this need? 40 times 6 is 240. Love when that happens. That's not where it was it? Yeah, it's crooked. Next break starts in about 2 minutes. That's enough time to finish this. Right there is where it should be back to... Oh, that is perfect. You could not do that better if you tried. The maximum extent that it's allowed to go, and it sets it up beautifully for that corner. Alright, let's once again do this. Valve there. Valve there. Set them both to 240. The way that they do as they should. And then, you know what? Just for good measure, I'm going to add one right here. Purely just open. But hopefully that should prevent backflow. Because these are directional. You see the arrows pointing that way? They are directional. Alright, well, minus the power for this area and the outputs being completely hooked up, that should be it. Did I ever... No. A little behind on starting the break, but I want to do this before I forget. I don't know if I did it on the other side, though, is the only problem, so I'll still have to go back and check it. Anyway, I'm going to go ride the very tall elevator. But it is time for another break. This might be the last break of the stream, one way or the other. I think I want to wrap up the stream an hour early compared to what I have been doing during the regular weekday Tipathon streams. Just because it is Sunday night. You know, I don't entirely want to stream until midnight on a Sunday. So... thus why I might end an hour early, but also there's only a little over an hour left on the timer. So, if the timer isn't increased any further, which again, you guys don't have to contribute if you don't want to. Don't feel like you have to either. It's appreciated, but absolutely not required. Yes, words. I'm just going to say day 19.6. Sure. I just did 2.25 because I tend to do 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, and then increment it fully for the end of the day. Because, I don't know, that's what I do. But anyway, if the timer remains as it is, I'll just run it down to 0, and that will be it for the Tipathon. Otherwise, if somebody else contributes, or multiple people feel like contributing, and there's an hour left on the clock, then I might end at the end of the next hour. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Either way, I'm going to take a short break to stand up, stretch, and there goes an autosave. And, you know, do all that good stuff. If you have a need to do so yourself, now's the time, obviously. Though, the getting up part may not be doable by all people, but do what you can. Good time to take a break, go to the bathroom, grab a snack or drinks. Don't forget to stay hydrated. I will be hydrating on my break, after all. You know, all that good stuff. What a break is for, right? I'm gonna run some ads during the break. It's the only time during the stream that I run ads, so that way it doesn't conflict with the gameplay. But you should never miss a moment of the gameplay due to ads, except maybe during the first hour of the stream. But again, I don't like running ads right at the beginning of the stream. Anyway, by running ads, it also disables pre-rolls for the next hour, which is a good thing. So yeah, BRB. Alrighty, I am back, and DJ, you didn't get an ad? I mean, from my point of view, I think that's a good thing, because, again, as an affiliate who doesn't tend to get a lot of viewers, ad revenue is... I don't even know how much I make off of ad revenue. Like, I can look at my dashboard, and it gives me a rough estimate, or maybe a not so rough estimate, but, like, I don't know what the per viewer amount is, right? What I do know is that it's low, so it really doesn't matter to me. But if you were looking forward to getting ads, then I can certainly understand the disappointment. Just give me a second, because I forgot to tweet out. And I want to do it since we're coming up on an hour being left on the timer again. I would have done it during my break, but I was away from my computer, and I can't tweet from my phone anymore because... Thanks, Elon. Okay, let me just add the link. And tweet. I don't know why I bother with Twitter, honestly. I don't know that it helps. It might not. It's Twitter. I mean, look. In regards to the whole Twitter versus X thing, I'm calling it Twitter until the site dies or I give up on it fully. I don't care. It's Twitter. I refer to it as Twitter. Anyway, just to touch on this real quick, since I kind of took a couple minutes there to send that tweet. I am doing a Tipathon. You can see at the top of the screen, we only have a little over an hour left, and we're also $42 away from the next goal. If we would round that up to 50, that would add 100 minutes for the $50, 30 extra minutes for hitting $50, because there's a bonus for every $50 of 30 minutes. Yeah, DJ. And then also for hitting the goal, there's an extra 3 hours added. And the goal, actually, beyond just the 3 hours, it's also retro quote-unquote streams, PS2 and GameCube games, because I currently have no way of capturing analog video, and I don't have any analog to digital video conversion. I would like to get some sort of nice analog to digital converter, like, OSSC, is that what it is? Open source scan something or other. I would like to get something like that, but budget's tight, so I'd get something to make it work. That's what I'm getting at. But it depends on a number of factors. Obviously, always trying to make things work out, but 2023 has just been a shitty year for me in general, so it is what it is. That being said, your guys' generosity over this last week, the fact that there's still an hour on the clock at this point, is ridiculous. And I think I don't say it enough, guys, seriously. Like, thank you everybody, whether or not you're contributing to increasing the timer, you're helping out a lot. People being here helps as well. You know? Even if you're not contributing, just being a viewer and being in... maybe not active in chat, but watching helps just as much, because it helps to get more people in here, and those people may or may not be willing to help out with the timer, you know? And obviously I understand money is tight for everybody for the most part. Everybody's got their own troubles, and I understand not wanting to help out with some random guy on the internet. But you guys are making 2023 that little bit easier for me, and I greatly appreciate it. Alright, so what was I doing? I need to... No problem, Shaw. I get it. This game is highly addictive. This game is highly addictive, and... yeah. No, especially with Update 8 having mod support to some extent, finally. I get it. It looks like everything is filled in. I just gotta run the power. Oh, there's the 1 hour mark. We have officially hit the 1 hour mark. Let's see, did the bot message Discord? It looks like it. Yep, okay. The bot is working as it should. Finally! It took until day 5 in the Tipathon, but the bot is finally sending alerts as it should have been from the very beginning. Alright, well... I think I ran power over here, right? Well, that's the input side. I never ran power for you? Oh no, that is the output side. I ran power here, I ran power here. I don't think I ran it here. Odd. I'll put it right there. Oh, you're already... yeah, okay. I said I wanted it right there, right? No, on that line? On that line. We good now? Looks like it, don't mind the clipping. Alright, well, that seems to be good now over here. Now to go do that for the new stuff. Put this smack dab in the center because it doesn't really matter. Of course, the center is a little offset in this area, but yeah, again, don't worry about that so much. It's fine as it is, right? As long as it works. As long as it works. That's what matters most. Five out of 7, 6, and 5. And then finally there's this last row over here. which I'm actually going to do up on this side because that's where the plugs are. That fits, right? Looks like it fits well enough. Yeah, okay. Is that it? Right there. Yeah, looks good to me. And to think I could have just run along that tube the entire time and it would have been fine. Okay. So that's residual rubber and plastic now. Where does the rubber go to? Caterium computers. So that's this. No, that's the plastic. The plastic gets divvied up. The rubber, which is this stuff, does not. You know what I should do? I'm not done with this area yet. But what I really should do is make sure that the belts on everything are done up right. These guys are all done up right because the outputs are all done up right. You thought I was just going to walk off that ledge, didn't you? Because I've done it so many times before. Don't lie. Don't lie, I know. I know. Whee! Okay, that time I did. That's weird. I can middle click to place, but I can't use the F key to delete while I'm underwater. My defense, though, on that one, where I actually ended up in the water, that was a bit trickier because I bounced off of a tube oddly. Maybe not oddly per se, but you know, I'm just making excuses at this point. That's what I'm trying to convey here. I'll get to the outputs in just a second. So what do you... Well, you only require 20. So 80, 140, 200, 260, and then Mark 4. Oh, this is something I haven't been making sure of, but I don't need to, because they're all 60 per minute. Just had a minor brain fart there, is why I thought about that. Yeah, I know that feeling, right? There's always more to do, and it makes it so hard to stop as a result, because you just don't want to. You just don't want to. As a reminder, this is the one that's outputting 6.667. So that I'm just going to keep separate, because that is literally 6.667 is going towards Caterium circuit boards. And that's it. The other 140 of the 146.667 plastic that I'm making through these, the other 140 go to the supercomputers. So I'm just going to keep these separate. How much do you output? 20? 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, and then that'll be 140. Do you need to do the belts to the exact speed for what they are? No, you can always go a tier higher or multiple tiers higher. I just like to spec it out properly because, well, I don't want to run tier 4 belts all over the place. Mark 4 belts. They're expensive. Mark 1s are super cheap, but they don't work in every situation, so I'd rather just do Mark 1 and upgrade as necessary. Nice shadows, which I can only see here. Also, I wouldn't swim out beyond that point, personally, because you never know where the world's going to be like, yeah, no, the water doesn't exist here. It might. It does on the swamp side of things, but also over by the swamp is the death plane that will kill you immediately. Yes, I just did that again. What I get for not having built out a platform here yet. Let's see, the plastic is dealt with. It's the rubber that I need to... You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this. I hope you're able to, Shaw, because more time in this game is always a good time, right? Just try not to lose track of time too much. Or something like that. How many hours do I have in this game at this point? Not a ton. 426. But not a ton. Okay, how much is each of the machines outputting? 20 per minute. So 40, 80, 120, 160, 200, 240. 426. $426. I did you. Yep. Okay. I think that should be the plastic and rubber dealt with, except for where they're going, obviously, which, at this point... build out to there for the moment. Oh. I can barely afford anything of that. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I got you. Let's see, what were my saves at? Update 4 modded 154 hours. Are you kidding me? Of all the numbers. Update 5, which is the one I streamed last year. Well, if you want to be technical, 180 just under 188 hours. But I did briefly check out... Oi. I did briefly check out Update 7, which just... Nope. Mod no longer updated, breaks everything. It was a critical mod too, so it's just under 190 hours. That was just me toying around with something, but up to 91 hours in this save already. It looks like we're just about down to 45 minutes on that timer. It's the lowest we've been, I feel like? Maybe not. I don't remember how low it was on day 2. But getting down there. Right, I was heading back for resources before I got distracted by talking about saves, an amount of time in the saves. Let's see. I've got some extra plates right here. Something like that. Except I'll take more plates. Just because belts. Let's try this again. Almost fell into the water, which would have been annoying. Ramp is there, so bring it to there. Yeah, that looks fine. I hope Smart gets updated for update 8 very quickly. I don't want to be without Smart. Smart's too good. I don't know if I'll actually need that opening, but it's there if I need it. Alright, what should I do? I think what I should realistically do is come back either to right here, probably to right here. I don't know that setting up near here is going to be of any use, but I have more refineries to set up. How many more? If all that stuff is already dealt with, then I need a total of about 53 smelteries. Not smelteries, refineries. Ah, yeah, gotcha, Shaw. Yeah, no, especially the early game. It's always just, yeah, just bare minimum to get going and then eventually working on the full stuff. Ah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Let's see, so yeah, I'm gonna need a bunch more water as well. But I need about 32 refineries for pure copper. And then I'm going to need an additional 21-ish refineries for steamed copper sheets. Because I'm already doing diluted fuel over on the diluted packaged fuel over on the other side of the factory, so screw it, let's just go all in on the refineries for doing stuff, except Caterium isn't pure Caterium. I assume that exists, right? I think it does. And I'm apparently going down the cheap silica route. That's a choice. Yeah, that's a choice. I don't know, that's a good choice, but it's a choice. Well, I've already got all the miners set up for the resources, so... I do have the quartz set up, right? Is cheap silica worth it? You're using quartz to make... Or you're using limestone to make quartz. I don't know. Is it worth it? I'm not sure it is. Yeah, there's my quartz, copper, Caterium, and limestone. I mean, there's so much limestone that if you can boost the output of your silica output, if you need it, then I guess it's not a bad thing, but I don't know. What is silica used for besides glass? Well, if you go for the silicon recipes, you can use them for high-speed connectors and circuit boards. That's where my silica is going towards in this instance. You can also use them for computers and such as well. Circuit boards, potentially? No, I said circuit boards. Wait. This is making circuit boards from both silicon and Caterium circuit board recipes. Yeah, it would reduce plastic, I guess. Yeah, because there's no plastic in that, but you're increasing quartz consumption for reduction in plastic consumption. That doesn't make a lot of sense, because there's a lot of oil to be had, but the quartz nodes are relatively rare, I think, so... I don't know. It doesn't really matter if this save is gonna get dropped, essentially, in favor of Update 8, because, again, modded components that I have used. Maybe not so much here. Oh yeah, the elevators. Don't forget the diagonal vehicle lift that I can't even afford because it requires computers. Freaking massive. But, yeah. I don't think I have any other modded stuff down here. Anyway. Trains! Load balancers are updated. Nice. That's one thing. How do I want to do this? Like, I think the simplest way would be bringing it over this way and then that way, but there's only so much I can reasonably do. Yeah, linear motion is the elevator mod. It's nice that the trains have brake lights, or tail lights, I guess. They're not really brake lights. It's a shame that the model doesn't actually show them as red, but the light they emit is red. I'm trying to get this so I can actually see what the resources I need are all on one screen. Like how much of each. Okay, so you are the silica. All the quartz at this point. That is the output. No indication of it being straight. Excellent. Loud volume. Okay, well, if I did this... Actually... Well, that's snapping to something. Somewhere over there. This way I can have a walkway here. But there's no real need to have it elevated for an extended period of time. Something like that. I think that's how I want it to go. That was just to get it over in line. The way I want to do these, I guess, is... And yes, I know I can just come from the top output, which I will do for these. Easier that way. Okay, what's next? You are copper, and I need 478 copper. God, could you be any closer? That works. That's full 480. Rock quartz needed 294. I think what I'll do for this is put a counter limiter on the line and then tell it, you son of a bitch. Nice right roll. Yeah, these show a little thing when you first play them. Replace them. And of course, it decided to do a rickroll right there. Where is everything going to? Hello? You have a buffer of 300 now or something, and you're just not showing it? Or are you voiding the items? I'm not going to be too upset if it's voiding the items, because wars are infinite, but like, what the hell is going on here? Well, I'm just going to leave it and see if it stops. Caterium, 432.5. Yeah, that's not gonna fly. That's just temporary for the elevator, right? In essence. It's temporary, so it doesn't matter if it clips a little bit for me. Just as long as it gets there in the end. Alright, do I actually have any more of these resources here? Nope. What are we down to? Just over 30 minutes left on the timer. It's very quickly running out. Just a reminder, when that timer hits 0, I'm ending the stream and the Tipathon is officially over. It means the end of this save on the stream, and potentially forever, because it's an update 7 save, and I'll have to do an update 8 save at some point. I'm not here for those. In fact, I'm at the wrong factory. I wanted these. Stupid control click moving the first slot. There. Whee! Alright, let's go back over here and continue with this. Okay, that did eventually stop flowing, so I'm just going to assume that despite the fact that it doesn't say as much, that it has roughly 300 quartz in there. And that's why it is the way it is. Okay, so limestone... 490. So what you're telling me is that I need more than I can currently hold on a single belt, because I don't have aluminum products. Alright. That's unfortunate. Might as well do 250 per, right? Yeah, that's gonna be excessive, but whatever. You know what? Let me do it this way. Yep, as the bot just said, there's not much longer to go. Mere 30 minutes left. So, oh, my inventory is full, so that got put up there. So I need that. Didn't need that. Let's see. I thus want this. Like that, is it? I want roughly 250 per belt. Yeah, that's fine. I can just upgrade those into Mark IIIs. Except you might not have been offset. There we go. Now it built to the right spot. Okay. Actually, Mark IIIs should reach. And I think I built one too high over there, but that's fine. There we go. Alright, now to run all those belts over to where they need to be. I'm not going to build here because there is wiring right there, but I can go this way. Yeah, that should be fine. How many do I need? 4? Makes sense since I needed 4 total before, but limestone needed to be doubled up in order to actually work, so 5 it is. Yeah, I think that wire is temporary. Some point. There it goes. Oh, I can't go that far with it. I'm just gonna go to there. If I can. How do I want this to be handled? Okay, so that wiring is not temporary. That's the main power input. That's what that is. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's temporary. Temporary to some extent, at least. Which is why it's placed on the rocks. Right past me, that's what I said. That's why it's on the rocks like that, because it's only temporary. Even though I did run power cables to here like this. Where do these go? It actually goes to that. Hold on. So that isn't necessarily... Actually, are you even hooked into anything? Oh, you're coming from over here. Yeah. So this really is just its own thing. So yeah, I can ignore it for now. Good to know. It clears. The other belts would actually visibly clear, so this works. Right there. Don't worry about it. That's what I'm gonna say for right now. Don't worry about it. Alright, well I will say it right now. We're sitting at 22 minutes on the clock, and it's around this point in the stream that I kind of want to wrap it up. But unless somebody steps up, or multiple somebody step up and add at least an hour to the clock, I'm gonna have to sit here and run that clock down. Because I'm not starting up a stream tomorrow with less than an hour or so on the clock. As a reminder, if that tipathon, or if that timer hits 0, this is a tipathon, which is just basically a subathon, but with tips. So once it hits 0, it's over. And I will run that clock down to 0 tonight if I have to. It would be a shame if it was to end tonight, but at the same time, we've made it so far along in this that I'm not completely upset if it ends tonight. I would like to keep going with it, but I can't complain with getting this far. A lot further than I ever expected to get, after all. And again, that's thanks to everyone's generosity. And even if you haven't been able to help out during this time, that's fine. Thank you for just being around as well. Well, let's keep running the top belts first. Not very easy to see those from over here. Did you get the right one, right? Yeah. Oh, I didn't build those. Alright. Continue building this out over here. Of course, I will just say, not that I expect this to happen, but if anybody is wanting to help out further, but is leaving it as late as possible, I would appreciate if you didn't and just got it over with. I know having the timer go down to basically nothing would be a lot more dramatic, but as I said, I kind of wanted to wrap up around now. So if the timer is going to go up, I would prefer it go up sooner rather than later. But again, nobody wants to do that. That's fine. Don't feel like you have to. This will only be one step up, but honestly, that's fine. But do I... well, some of it, at the very least, I want to come over here. Because I need to set up 50-ish refineries for pure copper and steamed copper sheets. Why did I go with this silly setup? You know, honestly, maybe it would be better for it to go over here. Just so that there would be water. You know? Because, like... if I set it up over here, well, I could always just fetch water from over here if I set them up here, and it would be with the refineries on this side, so... I think if anything, I want to go get the refinery template set up for pure copper and steamed copper sheets. Because that's worth templating. 32 refineries for pure copper and 21-ish for steamed copper. Oh yeah, if you didn't know, the teleporters have a second mode, as it says over here. I have it set so you have to force it, versus if you set it to the B mode, just walking onto it would teleport you. Alright, so... for both pure copper and steamed copper, there is item and fluid inputs. So that's diluted right, which is fine. I want pure copper. Okay, looks like they're all set. Just change this to copper. That should be fine. Clear the designer. And yeah, but you say next break, but again, less than 15 minutes left on the timer at this point. I want left. Fuel. Stop pressing E. Copper. Okay. Set the icon to be copper. Save the blueprint. Clear the designer. And then... oh. Next break will start in about 1 minute. Well, no, it won't, actually. Steamed copper sheets. Didn't need to paste it there. Double check that everything gets pasted properly. Why no break? Look at the timer, Callie. Why would I take a break when there's 13 minutes left on the clock and when I honestly want to wrap up the stream regardless? Okay, let's set the icon before I forget to do that. And yeah, that's good. Clear designer, load right. Don't save. Love how I can't access the damn refinery by looking at it sometimes. Up sheets, I already checked that one. There we go. Oh good, it does support that. Makes sense, but you never know. And there we go. So that's those that I need. Grab an overclocker because I need 21.099 refineries. I'm not setting up a refinery to run at basically 1/10 of the normal speed. Wow, really? All that time and you still hadn't loaded in. Guess it really got flushed from memory for some reason. I'm only using 20 gigs, it's not that much. 20 gigs overall. Yeah, I guess I might as well just do it right here. I'll leave a gap. But well, I should do pure copper first. Duh. Put them on the edge exactly there. Did I see that I'm short? Yep. Okay, those are running well at least. I'll need 2 banks, well, 2 sets of those. One left bank and one right bank times 2. What do I need? 10 minutes. This is definitely the lowest we've been on that timer. I couldn't remember how low we were on days 1 and 2. Well, more so 2 than 1, but definitely was not this low. We were not down into single digits. I need 1 more of them, plus 2, and then 4 of them. There's those. I need the pipes. And I also need a stupidly small amount of things which I apparently do not have. Didn't I pick up a bunch earlier? No, but seriously, didn't I? And there's none of it left. Or was that the copper sheets that I was thinking of? Might have been copper sheets. Alright, well now I've definitely got enough. Where are you? Alright, let's try this again. Another 8 minutes and I can call this Tipathon done and end the stream. It'd be a shame if that does happen, but again, how many hours have I been going at this for? Currently we're at about 19 hours. Not terrible. Not terrible in the slightest. Yeah, you do. You sure do have some timing, Kiosk. Hi. You? And you. It's a shame I don't have more space behind it, so I'll have to build a second set of these. Let me get these run. Autosave. I would like to point out, just for the sake of the timer, $42. Technically less, because, as you can see there's 43 cents, sorry, as well. So it's technically less than $42, but $42, and that gets us to the next goal, which, beyond having the analog console streams be added, also adds 3 hours to the timer. And if you up that $42 to $50, that would add an additional 16 minutes, plus an additional 30 minutes on top of that, because it's $50. Just saying. Or you can let this Tipathon be over and let me have a break. That also works. Okay, so that is 16, so I definitely do need 2 more of these because, yeah, 31.882 refineries. I got a break yesterday. Yeah, a very unwelcome break. Also, that wasn't part of the Tipathon one way or the other. Well, yeah, only 5 minutes left. There we go. Bot is on top of those alerts. I love it. Love that it's finally working when it actually matters. I will say the one good thing about GTA not happening last night is that I don't have highlights to worry about. Which means that at this point I am completely done with highlights for the week. I actually would have been done yesterday, but I was being lazy about F&R highlights. There's a lot of races to go through. Alright, so that's the pure copper. Yep. That's all the pure copper. There we go. So between you two, right here. A lot easier when there's no lifts in the way. Conveyor lift. I'll have to try and see through them, which doesn't work for placing cables. Three minutes to go. Is how it's finally going to end. It's over 19 hours in, and we're looking at the first true ending of the timer. Actually, down below 5 minutes. Alright, on to the next tank. Need to run the power cable. Technically, there's no reason why I couldn't run these in one of the templates. Obviously, I can't have it in both because then they would conflict. But I could at least run it on one side to save myself a little bit of time, but not a ton. Also, I will just say, if anybody legitimately is waiting for the last second, I don't expect anybody is, but if anybody is, keep in mind processing times can delay things, and when the timer hits 0, that's it. No ifs, ands, or buts. Autosave. And considering we're just about at a minute and a half left, well, if you really desperately need to add time, bits are 1-to-1, so 100 bits adds 1 minute. And bits go through quite quickly. Alright, so I'd have to bring copper up to here. Which level is copper on? It is the... Well, that's convenient. There it is, the 1 minute call. How far can I run this, please? please. Yeah, I'll run it to right there, why not? One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, that's right. 20 seconds. You need to use bits right now if you don't already have a tip in process. Otherwise, the timer's gonna end and that's it. Bot. Bot. Jesus Christ. Well, that's it. I told you. Once the Tipathon's over, that's it. I'm done. There's no turning back now. Thank you everybody for the help. That's $327 worth of time added to the clock, plus a little bit more. Kelly, please. And yeah, it's a shame that it couldn't go much further, but at the same time, I can't complain. You guys have helped out a lot, and it's going to keep me going for a little bit longer. No, Chaos, the bot was supposed to end the timer. I don't know why it didn't stop it. That should not have happened. So I'll have to have a look at that. But yeah. I'm gonna go finish this routing of the copper lines off stream. But otherwise, again, thank you everybody for the support. But that's gonna do it for tonight and this Tipathon as a whole. Thank you everyone for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Later. I don't have the haha cat ready. Later.